All right, I think we're live. We're live. I can't see the screen, so I don't know who's coming in. Can you Periscope on the page? Hi guys, this is Jen the Grant Guru. As you are coming in, I want you to know that I cannot see the chat at the moment. What I will do is after Sanetta and I finish speaking, then I will turn it around and take any questions that you might have. But I want you to focus on the screen. I want you to be encouraged by what I hope you will hear. Okay, so again, I cannot see the screen and the comments at this time, but I will turn the device around at some point to answer any questions that you might have. I wanted to introduce to you guys as you are coming in. My name is Jen, the Grant Guru. I have got close to 30 years of grant writing research experience. And my hope is that this time will encourage you guys, encourage those of you who are just starting out in your grant writing efforts to just move forward in it, to do what you have been called and created to do. And so today I brought to the platform with me one of my boot campers. This is, you guys, I am walking through now almost 20 people. And Sanetta has an amazing program. And I don't want to just tell you about it. I want her to tell you about it. And I would like for her to share with you how she came across me. I think we were having a conversation and she said, Jen, I don't even know how I found you on Periscope. But in the process of finding me, what she's also discovered about herself and her program. To the replay viewers, you're going to have to just push replay to see this from the beginning, and I hope that you will. I thank you in advance for sharing with your followers who are in the process of making the decision to get grants, to get grant dollars, and so forth like that. And I will go back and look at the replay as well. Right now, I cannot see the comments, but I am believing and hoping that you guys are hearting us up, that you are sharing with your followers and on Twitter. But I want our focus to be right now on this story, because many of you guys, I talk to you all day, every day, and you say, Jen, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. And so I wanted to just bring someone who was in that place. And now when I tell y'all she started, when I tell y'all she has started, she is doing her thing. And I am so proud of her, as I am with all of the boot campers. But I wanted to spotlight this one in particular because she has really come a long way. And I expect that everyone else in the boot camp will follow suit. So I want to introduce to you guys Sanetta. And she is a beautiful heart, a beautiful sister. And I just would like for her to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her program and her introduction to me and the process and what she's learned. Take it away, sweetheart. Take it away. Just go as led. Whatever's on your heart.
All right. Thank you so much, Jen. So my name is Sanetta Crispin, and I want to say how I came across Jen. So I had started a nonprofit organization a couple of months ago, and in terms of getting my articles of incorporation filed. But I was already kind of working my program, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But so I was at that point where it's like, okay, I want to start writing grants. I have absolutely I didn't know where to start. I just didn't even know where to start. And so one Saturday morning, about a month ago now, a little over a month ago, first thing I do, probably like most of us, we check our timeline on Facebook and Periscope to see who's on or whatever. And I saw someone had shared Jen's broadcast. Now, what was so ironic about that, the person who shared it, I'm not even following you guys. So it was just a divine intervention. And I'm just going to stick with that because it didn't even make sense. And because I was looking at the person who shared it, and I'm like, I'm not even following this person. So God wanted me to see Jen's broadcast. And she was talking about grant writing, and she was the grant guru, had been doing it for 30 years. And I was like, okay, Lord, I thank you. This is what I need. This is about as close of hand holding I'm going to get, otherwise I'll be on Google and reading useless articles. So anyway, she was offering the boot camp. And it was a sacrifice, to pay the money. It was like, I don't know. But I wanted it so bad. I wanted the help so bad. So I paid the money, got in her boot camp, you guys. And I do not regret it at all. Not at all. So about my organization, it is called Butterflies in My Stomach. And you can find it at butterfliesinmystomach.org. And it's spelled exactly like it sounds, Butterflies in My Stomach. And that... my organization was birthed out of fear. It was birthed out of me living a life of fear, you guys. Yeah. A lot of people say that they allow fear to stop them from doing something, or they may be afraid to speak in public, but for me, it was deeper than that. I was gripped with fear. So I was like the most incredible introvert ever. But I'm not shy. So it was kind of hard to explain, but I was just gripped with fear. So anyway, I would always get called to speak at my job, and I would decline it. I'm not training nobody. I'm not standing up in front of a crowd doing nothing. I'm just going to decline it. So anyway, long story short, I got a new position at my job, which would require me to travel. It required me to facilitate training sessions. And you're talking about every time I had to do it on my way to work or on my way to the event, I would be like sweating profusely, crying. I mean, that's how afraid I was. It's like, it just literally felt like butterflies in my stomach. So one day, you guys, I was driving down the street and I was at a red light, and I just threw my hands up and I said, Lord, I am so tired of carrying this fear. Like, come on, I don't want to feel this way. You said you didn't give me the spirit of fear, but a peace, love, and a sound mind, and that's what I want to experience, and I'm going to go for it. So anyway, that is how Butterflies in My Stomach came about, because I made peace with those butterflies. Sometimes I still feel fear, you guys. I have to admit, when I have to speak or facilitate a training session, I always get nervous, and I don't know if that may be natural, but no longer am I going to allow it to stop. So I started writing a blog about two things I love: food and fashion, particularly thrifted fashion. So Butterflies in My Stomach was just a blog for about 6 months, just blog writing. But I tried to figure out ways that I can monetize my blog. I wanted to make money. I wanted to start my own business. So long story short, Butterflies in My Stomach is now a nonprofit organization, which we are committed to uplifting, inspiring, empowering women to live a life free of fear, to live fearlessly. So all of the activities that we do, all of the events that we have may center around food and fashion, but the underlying idea is to uplift and empower and inspire women to live a life fearlessly. And so again, that is how my organization started. That is how I found Jen. The boot camp helped me tremendously because I didn't know how to articulate my program. You have to put it in writing. You have to talk about your history. You have to talk about your background. You have to be able to tell people what you do, right? And so that's kind of hard. It's really hard to do. So what Jen does, she just takes you step by step. She just basically held my hand in our one-on-one session and like, okay, let's start with your history. Okay, so everything I kind of shared with you, I shared with her. And she was like, okay, write that down. Write your history and write the background down. And so after speaking with her after a couple of weeks, I'm looking at my proposal, my grant proposal, and I'm like, I got a proposal almost in my hand without the financial piece, because we still got to go over that. Mm-hmm. But so again, all of my programs I'll be doing, she helped me kind of just put some text behind it. This is what you're doing. This is why you're doing it. I've been partnering with a lot of other organizations in the community, because there's no way I can do this by myself. We just had an event called Swap Till You Drop, and it was a clothing swap. And so I did a clothing drive. I went around and on social media and asked everybody to bring me their clothes or used clothes that you would otherwise donate, right? And then I set up an event, like a little boutique, and people came and they just got to pick them the clothes. We served food, we had music, we had vendors. It was like a thrifting extravaganza. So I had a lot of people partner with me with that. I didn't do that by myself. So as a result of that, Butterflies in My Stomach is getting on the map. People are like, okay, who put that program on? And so I had 2 organizations already contact me and say, well, can you do that for us? Can we do a swap till you? Can you? Yes, we can. And so I'm already working the program, and I feel confident now that I can explain to people what I do. I can articulate it because of Jen, because of the help that Jen has provided with me. And I'm so thankful to God that I joined her boot camp. Yes.
Well, I appreciate you. And, when I asked you to come on, I obviously, hope that the boot camp has given you a lot of value, but I wanted to also spotlight for you, what does the fear look like? Like when you came into the boot camp, because there are so many who say to me, Jen, I want to come into the boot camp. However, I don't know what you're going to expect. What is the time frame? What is the commitment? And for me, from my side, the commitment is you have a willingness to do the work. From your side, as we've gone through this process now for a little over a month, what did you learn now? What do you think that you know now that you didn't know when we started? Like when you said, I knew I needed help, but I didn't know what kind of help I needed, right?
Yeah, I would have to say just being able to articulate what it is that I do, to put it in writing. I knew what I did, you know what I mean? But I have to make that make sense to a donor, to someone who's going to be giving me money, who's going to be volunteering to help me. I had to be able to explain my the impact of my program, like what my goal was, what did I want to see happen. So you helped me, the boot camp, and your guidance helped me to be able to put that into verbiage.
Mm-hmm. And unlike another type of format, because I always talk about Google University, about how you can have all kinds of information on Google that can really confuse you. But people kind of hear it from me in one way. What is your experience with, or did you have experience with going through Google and now having someone kind of guide you beyond the abstract?
Well, with Google, I just got overwhelmed. Like, that's where my fear came from, just because after reading an article on Google about nonprofit and grant writing, you're like, gee, this is going to cost me an arm and a leg if I have to hire somebody to write a grant for me every time I need a grant, because it's not about just one grant. And that was the misconception I had. I always just kind of thought you just have one grant. No, it's like you taught us in the boot camp. No, you're going to be consistently writing grants. And there's absolutely no way you're going to be able to afford, or the average person is not going to be able to afford to pay a writer to write their grant. And so Google, I just got overwhelmed. I kind of just was like, Lord, this is never going to happen. I just don't see no way that this is going to happen, because first of all, I'm not going to be able to afford it. Second of all, I don't even know how to articulate my program. I don't even know, And so, like I said, that Saturday morning, that was the answer. It's like, God was like, you don't need Google. I got Jen for you. And so I'm just, again, just so excited about that, because now I can articulate it. Now I have the confidence to say, you know what, I could write my own grant. I'm going to be able to write my own grant. That's my goal. That's my purpose. I'm going to squeeze out of you all the knowledge that I can, and just soak it all up, because you're just giving away so much useful information. I'm just taking it all in, because my goal is to be able to write my own grant proposal.
Amen. Amen. So listen, guys, I want to be able to somehow answer your questions. If you are on right now, I want to say thank you guys for joining. I can't see the comment line right now, but I want to say thank you for joining. Thank you for the hearts. And if you have any questions, what's going to happen is I'm going to jump off screen, so you're not going to be able to see me, so that I can read the comments. But if you have any questions at all